Oh, man, I'm so looking forward to the host this week.
So excited. I can't wait. I love Alice
Look
Cooper.
at this. What an entrance, man.
Of course. It's a genius.
Oh.
Hey, guys. You know where the nearest drop-off station for this thing is?
White City.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alice Cooper. Welcome to my nightmare. Time to get down to serious stuff. With team captain Noel Fielding tonight. He's the X Factor star who you, the public, overwhelmingly decided wasn't as good as some guy called Joe McElderry. It's Ollie Murs. He's a man who performed as Cheryl Cole on Let's Dance. In order to truly perfect the impression, he contracted malaria and assaulted a toilet attendant. It's Rufus Hound. And across the way with Captain Phil Jupitus. He's a rapper and MC who, when deciding on a name, followed strict instructions that it contain at least 8 characters, including 1 uppercase letter and 2 numbers. It's Rich. 3, 2. And she's a presenter who's best known for appearing on Breakfast TV. Breakfast TV, so that's on at, what, 2 in the afternoon? It's Penny Smith. So we begin with, tonight we're going to party like it's insert relevant date here. We show each team a video montage from a particular year. They have to guess the year, and I'll ask them a question related to that year. Phil's team, have a look at this and tell me what year it's from.
Bye, bye, baby, baby, goodbye. Bye, bye, baby, don't make me cry. I am sailing stormy waters. So when you're near me, darling, can't you hear me? SOS. The love you gave me.
So what year was that?
What year did you break 6 ribs when you fell off a stage?
All 6 ribs right here. 28 stitches and they finished the show.
Was that the first ever leap into the audience that anybody ever did?
Oh, the first stage dive, and the audience
Was it?
just didn't know what you did.
What's he doing?
Inadvertently, yes. I bled all over everybody. It was great.
And normally, a rock star would be spilling different fluids at a gig.
I like to keep my blood and yours.
The Bay City Rollers, do you know what I like? I like the drummer. In fact, he's got his name written all the way down.
I think when you're that good a drummer and you're #1 every week because a lot of young girls have just been misinformed.
They like tartan.
Then why wasn't there a lot more, you know, Moira Anderson in the charts? I was actually struggling to remember the name of any other Scottish artist just then.
Lorraine Kelly.
Lorraine Kelly. Did she ask about me?
Every single time I see her, she always
I still think
says...
of her every time I wax my legs.
You wax your legs?
Oh, yeah. Did I just look round at a grime artist and go, oh, yeah?
You wax your legs on this show.
Oh, let's try that again.
Do you wax your legs?
True that.
What I like about this picture of ABBA is it looks like they've been shipwrecked and then they've got this helicopter, help us!
No, actually, ABBA, and not a lot of people know this, they're only 3 inches tall, and that's a normal photographer taking a photo of them. They're on a beach, and that's grains of sand.
We're stalling. What year was it?
75's our final
75,
answer.
Alice Cooper?
Yes, it is 75. Why did my buddy David Bowie break into a psychiatric ward in that year?
Do you know, I met David Bowie. I even spoke to him. Well, actually, what I did was I saw him at a party and I reversed into him and said sorry.
Were you in a car? a driving test. Was he in his labyrinth outfit?
Oh. That outfit. Great film.
That was a good look.
Great film.
That was a good look.
But God, if you bumped into him and he went, "You'll never find your little body."
Do you know what, then? I actually spoke to Dustin Hoffman as well. Well, actually, I sort of did the same thing. I reversed into Dustin Hoffman.
Do you walk backwards? So David Bowie tried to break into a mental home.
Most people try to get out.
He tries to break in.
Breaks in.
I think he forgot his key.
He needed drugs.
Absolutely not.
I've got it. He was in the A-team that week, and he had to get Murdoch out because they needed a helicopter.
No?
There were people in there he knew, and we know who those people are because they were famous.
Ah.
It was you.
No. He had a lust for life, though.
Iggy Pop!
What?
He tried to break in to get Iggy Pop out.
So that Iggy Pop could give him a quote on his car insurance.
I grew up with Iggy Pop in Detroit, and Iggy Pop's the last person that you would need for insurance. He was the most dangerous human being on the planet. I gave him a switchblade one time, and he says, "Oh!" He starts hacking himself up, walks through the audience, they put peanut butter all over it, and I finally had to take him to the hospital. You know, but that was Detroit.
Oh, imagine how bad it would have been if he'd also had a peanut allergy.
In 1975, David Bowie broke into a psychiatric ward with Dennis Hopper
Oh, my goodness.
to deliver drugs to Iggy Pop.
What a wingman!
They had to break in because a surefire way to get committed is to turn up at a psychiatric ward and say, "It's Ziggy Stardust and Dennis Hopper. We're here to see Mr. Pop." Noel's team, take a look at this, and for bonus points, tell me what year it's from. What year was that?
What happened to Mika?
He's in my basement, tied to a radiator. He can have food, but he's making no music ever again.
It's awful, because he just keeps rocking backwards and forwards going, "Why don't you like me? Why don't you like me?" Avril Lavigne there as well. Does anybody ever see Avril Lavigne without just wanting to rip out her face? She did that whole thing where it was like, I'm from a subculture, and the moment that album didn't really sell, she went, "I've got a lovely frock on. Ah, I'm Celine Dion." No, you're not. You're a waste of skin.
I just sense that someone here has been ignored in a chat room by Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. It's like you wanted to get it off your chest for a long
I
time.
can't stand Avril Lavigne. I went past the Hammersmith Apollo, and there was a queue outside, and I wonder who's on it. It was Avril Lavigne. I just thought, if everybody in there died, no one would cry.
I was in the queue.
What year? It wasn't that long ago. It said something about Led Zeppelin reformed. You were pretty for that, weren't you?
I can't say too much about that year.
Yeah.
I remember parts of it. You guys must know this.
For you know, don't you?
2007, maybe? What do you reckon?
Don't ask
Sorry.
him. He's insane.
Final answer.
2007.
2007. That's right. It was 2007, but how did the police upset my fellow Hellraiser Ozzy Osbourne in that year?
Did they insist on the rectal examination?
No, that would have been okay with him, I think.
I can see him now. He's that absent-minded. Sharon! Is that you?
This probably should have happened to Sting.
Oh, that's a clue.
I gave him the electric chair.
Does nobody know this?
No.
No.
In 2007, police in North Dakota sent invitations for a fake Ozzy after-party to over 500 known criminals who were arrested on arrival. It was a sting operation. Oh. UK police employed a similar tactic recently and arrested 40 pedophiles when they turned up at a fake Justin Bieber party.
People watching this and you go, pedophile, and they go, ooh, glamorous.
People who do PR, but the paedophiles are going, "Hey, that's right, let's bring a bit of glamour to this."
Pedophile doesn't sound so bad.
At the end of that round, Noel's team has 1. Phil's team has 2. Next up, a special rock-themed intros round. Noel and Ollie, here are yours for Rufus.
I feel weird.
If it's any consolation, you kind of look weird.
Yeah, I know. I might perch.
Are we ready for this?
Hang on, I'm just shitting out a pellet.
Yeah, that is not a good version of that. A little less conversation.
Yes. You are right, and this is how it should have sounded.
Fine.
So that was Elvis versus JXL with a little less conversation. Now, I met Elvis in 1970. I got a thing that says, Elvis wants to meet you. I got to the Hilton Hotel. Elevator opened up, and it was me, Liza Minnelli, Chubby Checker, and Linda Lovelace.
Wow. What, you'd come together, or you just happened to be in that list?
No, he invited those 4 people
Really?
that night. So we went up, and they searched us for guns, which was kind of silly, because there were guns everywhere once you got in. When he came in the room, he was Elvis. He wasn't the fat Elvis. He was Elvis. He was the guy. He goes, hey, man, you're the cat with a snake, ain't you? I said, yeah. And he goes, that's cool, man. I wish I would have thought of that. That's cool, man. He said, hey, I want to show you something. We go in the kitchen. He opens a drawer, takes out a loaded 38, snub-nosed 38, puts it in my hand. And he says, I'm going to show you how to take this gun out of somebody's hand. The little devil's here on my shoulder says, shoot him. The little angel over here says, don't kill him, just wound him. Okay? Before I could decide what to do, I was on the floor. And he's had his boot in my throat. I'm going, it's good, Elvis. That's good.
I'm still reeling over the fact that you were there with Liza Minnelli.
Oh, yeah.
He must have thought you were sisters.
Of course, only 3 of us came down on the elevator that night. Now, I don't know what he did with Chubby Checker all night. I'll tell you what, he was an amazing character, very funny guy.
Wow.
But he was Elvis. Yeah. I mean, you know. Noel and Ollie, stand by for your next one.
Come, let's do it. I made that last bit up, to be fair.
Stop doing that.
It's the #1 stripper song in the world. The singer is really sexy.
David Poison.
Yes!
Oh, yeah!
It must have been that clue about the singer is really sexy, right?
That was the clue.
Here's how it should have sounded.
Not right, but it was close.
Your crew.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was me with Poison. I wrote this song when my poisons were alcohol and Class A drugs. Nowadays, most exciting thing that happens to me is a birdie on a par 4 and an occasional erection. Which I'm having right now. Phil and Wretch, here are yours for Penny.
Yep, be upstanding. It's got a really terrible introduction, but the end bit's the key bit, so we're going to focus on that. So it sort of goes...
Is it Whitesnake?
No.
Give me a clue.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll do the introductions to them. Down, 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 down,
Down, down, down, down. Give it a round. Down, down. Is it status
It's
quo?
not words, it's not words.
Status
It's not
quo.
words, it's not words. It's not worked.
Kylie Minogue.
It's a rock-themed
Oh, sorry.
round.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, Noel. But you know who it is.
Wasn't even
No,
listening.
it was just...
Sounded like, oh, what a night.
Hey, what? That's what I was thinking.
Bam, 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 bam. Oh, what a night.
Once again, it's...
December back in 63.
It's not that.
All right, here comes the answer. Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. This is how it should have sounded.
So you've got to split. Oh, skip that bit.
Because it sucks.
You're just basically doing your own intro
Yeah.
for that. We really like that bit, Slash, so we're just going to change that.
He once came on the show and we were pestering him to tell us anecdotes about Guns N' Roses. And I went, come on, you must have had some amazing gigs. And he went, one time we played in London and my hat melted.
That was Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. Slash says he once ran naked and bleeding through a high-class golf resort. He eventually collapsed face down and created the trickiest hole I've ever had to play in my life. Now, Slash, though, was not the first to wear a top hat.
Abraham Lincoln.
I hated his band. All right, next one, please. Phil and Wretch.
Is this a rock one?
No. Don't worry. Don't
vex me! Don't vex me! I'll tell you what, we'll do it where the vocal comes in.
OK, go on,
We'll
then.
do it where the vocal
do the
comes
vocal
in,
bit.
OK.
Yeah.
Down, 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 bow, down, 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 bow, down, 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 down.
Well, I thought you said you were going to do a vocal bit.
Yeah, well, I had the fucking singer here. I thought he might finish.
Still don't know it?
Still don't know it?
No clues?
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Oh, come on!
Is it Alice Cooper?
You don't know the song, do you?
What is the answer?
You must know. This is killing me. You're going to have to leave the show now.
Really?
School's out.
School's out! I know that one.
Apparently you don't!
And here's how it should have sounded. That was me with School's Out. My songs are often misinterpreted. For example, School's Out is really to tell kids to start their revision planners. Muscle of Love is about a romantic oyster. And Welcome to My Nightmare is a cautionary tale about eating cheese in the evening. It's all true. And at the end of that round, Phil's team has 2. And Noel's team has 4.
Yes.
Round 3 is the Identity Parade, and this week it's from my world of shock rock. Phil, Wretch, and Penny, how about some British grindcore? For the audience only here is Napalm Death. That was Napalm Death with Silence is Deafening. I actually like the Carpenters version better than that. But which of our lineup is lead shouter Mark Greenway? Is it number 1, Napalm Death? Number 2, Black Death? Number 3, Bored to Death? Number 4, Looks Like Death? Or number 5, Career Death after Big Brother 10?
I'm going to get number 4 to explain the plot of Lost to me.
Number 1's got a flamingo trying to escape out of his head.
I like those mutton chops.
Number 5, get those adamantium claws out. You've pulled.
I would say 3, because 3 is my lucky number, but he doesn't look like he can see or hear us. Yo, fam.
Final answer.
I saw this band at the Download Festival, I think 5 years ago, and it's number 2.
Let's find out with the real Mark Greenway. Please step forward. Still touring and recording with Napalm Death, Mark Greenway. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you out on the road somewhere. Noel, Ollie, and Rufus, something a little different for you. For the audience only, here is me performing live on the BBC in 1971 with a reptile friend of mine.
Now is it my body or something I might be or something inside me? You better tell me. It's really up to you. Have you got the time to find out who I really am?
All right, that was me in this very studio in 1971. And, okay, I was a little drunk at the time. But which of our Alice Coopers through the ages is holding the breed of snake that I use in my live show? Is it number 1, Alice Cooper? Number 2, Tommy Cooper? Number 3, Minnie Cooper? Number 4, Hangin' with Mr. Cooper? Or number 5, Pooper Cooper?
I have to say
That is just bonkers.
I don't think I'm ever going to sleep again. If we don't hurry this up, I'm pretty sure number 3's going to die.
Go take a close look.
Can we go and have a look? Because I think you used either a
stop
reticulated python or a boa constrictor.
I thought you'd had a boa, which would be
Yeah,
number
or a reticulated
3.
python.
Hello, cheeky.
Holy Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Big snake. Is it a big snake, or is it just a perspective thing?
That looks like a boa constrictor. I think that's a milk snake or a corn snake.
Get you, reptile watch!
Yeah, Terry Nutkins can kiss my ass. Don't whoop Terry Nutkins, you freak. No, it is Terry. All right, Terry.
No, one of them's going to go for you. They think you're a buzzard.
These are the smaller ones. These ones look all right. I'm not scared of these ones much. I'm not going to touch it, though.
What was the snake called, Alice?
I had Boa Derek, and I had Julia Squeezer. All right, take your seats.
You wouldn't want a really small snake. You'd want a big snake. So it's got to be a boa, or has it got to be that number 5? I don't know what that
look.
is.
We're talking Alice motherfucking Cooper here.
I know.
He's not walking out with a corn snake, is he?
No.
Stop it!
Final answer.
So we think it's number 3?
I'm just giving you a feather back.
I thought you produced a snake out of your denim jacket.
Your feathers.
Sorry, I am on mushrooms.
Good to know that when flustered, Noel becomes a Victorian lady.
Noel's team, which number?
Is it number 3?
Would the real snake please make themselves known?
Yay!
Right, number 3.
Wow. That's impressive.
That's a baby. Now, here's what happened to me. I had a snake probably twice that size. He swallowed a heating pad. He thought that it was part of his dinner. He ate the whole heating pad. There's this electric cord coming out of his mouth, plugged into the wall. So I called up the doctor. I said, what do I do? And he said, well, first unplug him. And he says, don't try to pull the cord out because you'll pull his stomach out. So he says, just clip the cord and see if he can digest it. It's a heating pad. It's that big. 2 days later, we realized he wasn't going to digest it. So we took him in, they cut him open, took the heating pad out, sewed him back up, and he's in a petting zoo now. So it had a nice ending to that story. Now hosting BBC Pop Quizzes, Alice Cooper, ladies and gentlemen. And at the end of that round, Phil's team has 3. Noel's team has 5. Now, in my time, I've always placed great stock on image and shock factor. So, we end with a round that looks at some of the craziest album covers in music history. I'll show you a cover with the title blurred out. and all you have to do is guess the title. Noel's team are in the lead, so you go first, and your time starts now. What's Swamp Dogg selling here?
Mouse jockeys.
Albino rat cyclist celebration. Oh, is it the world's unlikeliest pearly king ... on a big white mouse?
The answer is Rat On. What album is William Hung peddling here?
William hung like a horse.
Hung like tinsel.
What do they call Christmas? Kind of include everything.
Holiday.
Almost.
Hung for the holidays.
Oh, yes. Hung for the holidays. Great album. Very great. What's the name of this album from Jerry Butler?
I seem to be inside my own drink.
Iceman.
Iceman is close.
The Iceman cometh.
The Iceman cometh. Who has Patty Roberts written some songs for?
That's weird.
It's songs for gay dogs.
Yes, that is the right answer.
It is.
You're gonna love this one. What's the title of this Scorpions offering?
Hubba Bubba Tit Stretch.
It's called Love Drive. Doesn't make any sense at all. All right, Phil's team, you need 6 points to win. And your time starts now. What was the offering from the Handsome Beast called?
It's Bacon Week with the Hairy Bikers. Making bacon.
That would be a great title, but it's not it.
I'm a pig, get me out of there.
Bestiality.
Nice.
Okay. How about this album from Aphex Twin?
I've got something on my chest.
Ah, nice.
The answer is The Unlikely Window Licker.
Oh, shit.
What does the ESP stand for in Millie Jackson's ESP?
Extra sexual perception, isn't it?
Ooh, so
Extra
close.
sexual persuasion.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is right.
It's got nice kneecaps, man.
What is the title of my new album?
Alice Cooper Loves Kittens.
There was another album called this.
Really?
One of my albums was called this.
Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits 2.
No, think scarier.
Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits 2.
In 1975, I had Welcome to My Nightmare. This is Welcome to My Nightmare.
Welcome.
It's so damn clever. It's amazing. So at the end of that, in second place with 4 is Phil's team. This week's winner is Noel's team with 8. Thanks to Phil, Wretch32, and Penny, Noel, Ollie, and Rufus. I've been Alice Cooper, and so have these guys. Take it away, fellas. If he squeezes, I become a girl right now.